Okay, let's say you're given a problem where you have to show that angle E is congruent to angle A. Now, the way you have to get to this is you have to see what you're given first, and then you have to make a flowchart out of it. So, what we're given is that the line RE, this line right here, is congruent to this line right here. So, what you should do before you even make your flowchart is to label down what you have and what you need. So, we know that RE is congruent to RA, and we also know that line EC is congruent to line AC. So we know that these two are given to us, but one thing that isn't explicitly given to us is that this line, RC, is a shared side. So we also inexplicitly know that line RC is congruent to line CR. You can write RC is congruent to RC, it doesn't matter because it's the same line. So now that we have three things, we can start filling out our flowchart. So we can put in the first bubble that line RE is congruent to line RA, and you always have to show your reasoning for it. If you don't show your reasoning, you're not going to get the points for the question. So this is one thing we know, and it's explicitly given to us, so we can write given. Another thing we also wrote down is that line EC is congruent to line AC, and that's also explicitly given, so we can write given. And we also know that line RC is congruent to line CR. And since this wasn't explicitly given to us, we have to say how we know that. So we know that because it's the shared side. So we can call it shared side. Or if you want, you can put reflexive property. They mean the same thing. So now, what does this all add up to? So we have one side that's the same. We have another side that's the same. We have another side that's the same. So what does that add up to? It adds up to side, side, side. And that means that these two triangles are congruent to each other. So we can write that triangle REC is congruent to triangle RAC by side, side, side theorem. And now we know that because congruent triangles have congruent parts, that angle E is indeed congruent to angle A. And that's how you get to this conclusion. And the biggest thing you have to remember with this is don't forget your reasoning and don't mess up with this, because I see a lot of time people will put like ASA or something which like isn't correct, or they got like different things mixed up because it's easy to get the letters mixed up. But just be sure of that. Be sure to put your reasoning always. If it's explicitly given, you can put down given. If you had to determine that through another conclusion, then you have to write down what that conclusion was or how you got there. And then you have to put that the triangles are equal, and then whatever they were initially asking you to show proof for. And that's how you solve that's how you show a proof for congruent triangles or congruent parts using a flowchart.